supposed to be a movement afoot in Detroit also to organize such a club. Are you aware of this, or have you any part in it?
I read about it in the newspaper.
Are you a personal part of it?
I have not taken any personal hand in the organizing of any rifle clubs. I have only told Negroes that faced with the brutality that they've experienced in this country for 400 years, and the inability or unwillingness of the government to protect us against this brutality, then if the Negro intends to be recognized and respected as a man, he should do whatever is necessary to defend himself in the same way that whites have done to defend themselves. You have rifle clubs formed to hunt ducks and pheasants and foxes. I don't see why you can't use the same method to keep the wolf away from your door. No, I don't think there's any law preventing a man from owning a rifle or a shotgun. Well, let's get a hunting license.
For what, for men?
Get a hunting license for squirrels, for pheasants. Well, in areas where the government has broken down, and there are areas of this country where the government has broken down, it becomes necessary for the citizens of that area to do whatever is necessary to protect themselves. Now, don't blame the citizens. Blame the government for not doing its job. Yes, from coast to coast. I might point out that when it was announced that we were becoming involved as black nationalists in a black nationalist party, the mail that we received from coast to coast was tremendous, and it came primarily from students in college, Negro students, and even white students for that matter, in college and university campus across the country. All of them expressing sympathy, all of them expressing support, and expressing a desire to become actively involved in whatever kind of organizational apparatus we set up that was designed to, for the philosophy of black nationalism to eliminate the political, social, and economic evils that our people are confronted by. Most students aren't interested in religion. This is why they've always been sympathetic to the Muslims' analysis, but not the solution, because they aren't interested in religion. Most Negroes today who go to any kind of school have become disenchanted with organized religion, and rightfully so. So they have become agnostic or atheistic, but at the same time they believe in the social action, political action, and economic action. So in our present posture, we are able to remain Muslims with the religion of Islam, but we've also become actively involved in the entire struggle, above and beyond religion. We keep our religion in the mosque. No, I have no argument with Dr. Martin Luther King. He's doing the best he knows how. But what he's doing is out of style. It's out of date.
What kind of a solution do you think that you would possibly get if there is such a thing as a national race war? What is that going to prove?
Well, sir, when the 13 colonies became fed up with taxation without representation, they were facing an empire that was to them like an elephant compared to a mouse. But still those early patriots whom you refer to as the founding fathers of this country cared nothing about the odds that were against them. They were against taxation without representation. They said liberty or death. And they had less reason to say that than the black people in this country have today. And if Patrick Henry, George Washington, and the others were men enough to take a stand against the odds that they were faced in order to bring about the independence of this country, whites should realize that Negroes have become sufficiently mature and enlightened where today they are willing to take the stand and face whatever odds are necessary to bring about the independence of 22 million black people in this country, no matter what the consequences are. We either will get freedom or there'll be no freedom for anybody.
Well, discrimination is not peculiar to the black person, is it?
Well, in this country, it is.
There were millions of Jews murdered in Europe during World War II, for example. Is this akin to what you're fighting or not?
Sir, if I'm in prison and I've been framed and put in there illegally, and when I start crying out against the injustices that have been heaped upon me, and you start trying to tell me somebody else that you knew somewhere else, some other time, also the same thing happened to them, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in my situation right here, right now. And America cannot justify her inability to eliminate these injustices that black people are confronted with right here in 1964 by referring to what happened in Germany or what happened in South Africa or someplace else. Let her clean up her house right now, or get her hands out of other people's houses. If she can go and tell them in South Vietnam what to do and try and tell the people down in Cuba what to do and can't tell those people in Mississippi what to do, why, she should be ashamed of herself. are committing today is that they're making the Negro think that they are for integration, and they're not. And there's not an intelligent white man in America who's for integration. Not an intelligent white man in America who's for integration. So once you sit over here as a white man and let the black man sit over here as a black man, let the black man speak his mind as he feels, and let the white man speak his mind as he feels. This is communication. Once you communicate with each other on a black and white basis, then you can put the facts on the table. We can find out what each other like and what each other doesn't like and get some kind of solution. But as long as you got to make me think you're for integration, and I got to make you believe that I believe you're for integration, why we are wrong from the start, you'll never get any kind of solution. Everybody, no matter how old or young they are, should know the art of self-defense, male or female, especially when you're living in a very brutal society. You should know how to defend yourself. And anybody who teaches Negroes today to turn the other cheek is actually committing a crime. Anyone who teaches Negroes to love those who hate him is actually making the Negro go contrary to the law of nature and making the Negro go contrary to his own intelligence. And my remark concerning the rifles was based upon the Constitution, where it says that everybody has a right to own weapons and can defend himself when he's attacked. The Constitution of this government gives you the right to own a weapon. And I said that in areas of this country where the government has proven itself either unable or unwilling to defend Negroes, it's time for the Negro to defend himself. When you are in a civilization or a society or a government in 1964 where your churches can be bombed and your little girls be murdered and you can't do anything about it, then you need to crawl down the sewer. You don't even need to wait to be flushed. So there is nothing wrong with what I said, and there's nothing criminal or against the law in what I said. White people defend themselves, black people should defend themselves. This doesn't mean that we should take a rifle and go out and initiate acts of aggression. But I used to be a burglar, and I burglarized the home, and when I was a Christian, I was a burglar. And in that capacity, I was able to enter the home of many white people. And never did I enter a home where there wasn't a rifle or a shotgun. They've been armed a long time. So this is why they're so upset when they see you telling the Negro to get the same thing that they have. Just get a rifle and a shotgun, but don't attack anybody with it. But if anybody makes any kind of move whatsoever to violate your property or the lives of your family, you should die like a man, no matter what the odds against you are. Life. But they take the Negro and disarm him of his intelligence by telling him to turn the other cheek. He should be peaceful, he should be law-abiding. But at any time anybody tries to make him the victim of brutality, he should retaliate with the maximum force at his disposal. No matter what the odds against him are, he should retaliate. And the only ones who are going to start telling him that the odds against him are too great are these Negro Uncle Toms. Well, if a Negro can be drafted and sent to Korea to face 800 million Chinese, I don't know where any greater odds are than that. So it's better for him to do it right here at home, die like a man, and then...
By the members of your rifle club, if there is such a thing.
Whatever, I haven't mentioned, whatever is necessary. I'm flexible, and they should keep flexibility. Whenever the government hasn't done its part, then it's up to the people to do their part.
Where has the government not done its part? Put it that way.
The church was bombed in Birmingham. 4 little girls were murdered. Where are the murderers? Medgar Evers was shot in the back. Where is his murderer? Emmett Till, Charles Mack Parker, and 2 little boys were shot down right after the church was bombed. All of this happened right after the March on Washington. Where was the government? All the government did was send a football coach down to look into the matter. No, the government has broken down. So the Negro who today is saying he's going to retaliate the burden shouldn't be upon us. The burden is on the government. Let the government do its job, and then it won't have to worry about things getting out of hand.
Well, don't you think that the police departments of this nation actually did try to find out who bombed the church?
No. The police were probably in cahoots with the bombers of the church.
In what way?
In whichever way it was necessary to bomb the church. Evidently, you aren't familiar with Birmingham. It was policemen who were sicking dogs on the babies. It was policemen who were drowning the innocent little children with water hoses. It was the policemen who are using cattle prods on innocent Negro demonstrators. So the policemen in this country are the ones who are responsible for the brutality and the violation of the rights of the persons who are demonstrating, trying to get some kind of implementation of the Supreme Court desegregation decision. So the policemen themselves have become guilty of violating the rights of the people. So what are the people to do? Call upon the same ones who are victimizing them to protect them? No. They have to protect themselves. Excuse me for raising my voice. They have to protect themselves. But I get excited when a white man becomes so concerned over Negroes defending themselves. All the white man has to do is stop brutalizing the Negro, and then he doesn't have to worry about the Negro doing whatever is necessary to defend himself. It's enough to get you excited.